Hello everyone, how's it going? As you guys can see, I now have a new studio space. If you watched my previous video, you obviously know that I was contemplating whether I should leave or stay at the Art Hub. And, well, obviously, this is the decision that was made. And yeah, it was a bittersweet moment to leave the Art Hub. But I think during kind of this chapter of my life, it was the best decision for me, and I'm really happy with the decision, even though it wasn't the easiest goodbye for sure. But yeah, I've been meaning to make a video about this for the last couple of weeks, but it's just been quite busy with moving in, reorganizing things, and just other things going on in life in general. So here we are, finally, sitting down and creating a little illustration. I started this last night, but here it is, basically a little wood panel illustration, a big favorite of mine, and yeah, just creating a little composition with a bit of a campsite. And yeah, I already have a name for this piece, which is called I Love Camping, because I love camping. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna dive in. It's gonna be a short little update video, but we're gonna finish this piece, and we're just gonna go over the reasons why I decided to move back to my home studio. So when I used to work from home, I actually had a completely different setup than I do now. Essentially, my main drawing desk that have been using forever was actually situated in the living room. It was up against the main front window, which was really nice. It provided a lot of natural light, and also gave me something to look at every now and then. But yeah, I decided to move the desk into here, which used to just be my office space, I guess, computer room, my print shops where I fulfilled orders and whatnot. But yeah, I decided to just make one whole room dedicated to everything. And a few different reasons came about. Number one, I'm filming a lot of these videos now, and it was just uncomfortable to film in the living room. I've done it before, but there just weren't enough good angles, and especially like this shot right now where the camera is in front of the table. It was really difficult to do that there because there just wasn't a lot of room for me to navigate that. And so here there's plenty of room still ahead of the table. So that's sort of a nice thing about the space. It just worked out in that way. The other reason is, it is my personal space, my living room. I don't really feel like filming in there. And what I really loved about my last studio at the Art Hub was the fact that I had all my artwork up on the walls. It created a cool aesthetic, and I kind of recreated that in here. I still have a few things to put up and to fill in. And things will change over time as well. But yeah, I really like how this all turned out. Everything just works great. Having this setup, got my printer on the back desk, got my drawing desk, got my computer desk. Everything just is nice. And what I love most about this space is that it's so cozy in here. It's just nice. And yeah, I'm obviously it's like a new space, a lot more organized than it used to be, but I'm feeling a lot more creative, I guess. Like, obviously, the novelty still hasn't worn off, but yeah, it makes me inspired again, and yeah, I'm excited to create, especially like in the evenings. I love working in the evenings, and this is just a nice ambiance to it. So I'm super happy about that. So pretty much the decision to move out of the old studio really came down to financials. And yeah, I'll be honest, January was actually not a bad month financially. There was a good commission, and I also had a large wholesale order, which came out of nowhere. And so, yeah, it actually wasn't too bad. But truthfully, I'll be honest, eh, from the very beginning, going into the art hub, it was a bit of a financial stretch, and I kind of gave myself insurance. I had a bunch of savings that I was willing to part ways with, and really the reason I wanted to try out a studio was because for many years now I was under the impression that a studio would make me a lot more productive. I'd be able to create a lot more, make a lot more money, and hence, investing into a space would pay itself off. And, I had that mindset for several years prior to actually getting the studio. And it even got to a point where I was looking at leased office spaces in like random commercial buildings, and those were way more expensive than any studio at the art hub. But yeah, that was sort of my main thing that I kept telling myself, and like I would become a lot more productive if I had to leave my house and go somewhere else to do all my work. And now that I've had pretty much a year of experience in a studio outside of my home, I realized that that isn't the case. My productivity did not go higher, and the reality was, it really just comes down to me, to internally, if I'm feeling up for it or not. Having a studio somewhere else didn't necessarily, inspire that extra productivity whatsoever. If I didn't feel productive, if I didn't feel motivated, I could easily just stay home. There's nothing really to build that productivity. It really comes down to my mental state, which ironically I've been working on as well throughout the past year, as I've mentioned in several other previous videos. And so yeah, having all of that information together, I kind of had to make the decision of like, okay, is this worth it? Is this worth it financially? Is this worth it mentally? Is it worth just in general? And since I already pay for this space, I pay for my housing, my living situation, and I have this space available for me, then might as well take advantage of that, especially in the financial situation that I am in. I think this makes the most sense, and yeah, it was pretty much a no-brainer. Although there's definitely lots of things that I enjoyed about working at the art hub, it just just wasn't what I needed. So I have finished this piece, which, like I said, I named I Love Camping for obvious reasons. And yeah, I genuinely love camping. And that's another reason why I decided to, move out of that studio was, well, looking at the financial books, seeing how much I spent over the year that I was there, it made me realize I could have gone on more camping trips and, more trips in general. And to me, I think that would be so cool, to be able to do more of that. I usually do several a year. I have been for the last few years. And the thing is with these trips, I'm pretty much able to, make the money that I spend to go on these trips, I'm able to make that money back during those trips, or, after those trips, with the artwork that I make, during that time, I've always, made that money back. And in certain circumstances, I was also able to, make a profit, which is fantastic, and it's crazy for me to even say that out loud, that like that's my reality that I live in, and a possibility that I could do that. And like that's a dream come true. And so yeah, I'd love to do more, and I'm setting an intention to do a lot more of that kind of stuff, and not just camping trips, but shorter trips too, and things closer to town. There's so many opportunities and things that I can do. And yeah, and you can bet that I will take you guys along on those adventures and show you how, how beautiful our world is, but also, just what happens in general, documenting the journey. That's the whole point of this channel, is documenting the journey, my journey as an artist, and also sharing my community with you guys as well. So, with that being said, it's the end of the video, and I want to thank you guys for watching. And yeah, like I said, stay tuned for what's to come, because I don't even know. So it's going to be exciting. That's all that I can tell. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. And remember, keep living that dream. Thanks for watching. Man, yeah, I love camping. This would be one hell of a campsite.